Welcome back to another episode of the We Love Gaming podcast. This is episode 104, and I'm your co-host, Golly Sovereign, and along with me today, I have Sir Knight. What's good, my man? How you doing?
Doing good, man. Just enjoying the summertime off, bro.
I know, man. Must be lovely.
Living that life, man. Living that life.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's gonna be a hot weekend this week, right?
Dude, yeah, it's been hot. But I just run that AC up. Actually, looking into trying to get some solar right now.
Okay, nice. You gonna pay for it outright or what?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not gonna do a lease or anything like that.
Yeah, I hear you.
But something along those lines, yeah. Depending on what kind of price we can get. I have my dad trying to do some legwork for me.
He's trying to do some magic.
He's trying to, pull in his little Mr. B magic. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Trying to get a deal on everything. So
sure.
He's calling his people. I've called a couple places up, so you can kind of use them as a reference, to compete, get them to kind of bid, bid for you, So yeah, man,
so
that's pretty much been my week.
With all that extra time, have you had a chance to play anything new?
Yeah, so I basically played a good chunk of my week Red Dead, but then I did end up firing up Dying Light 2.
Oh, okay. Did you just buy that, or you had that?
I've had that for a little while.
Oh, okay.
When you mentioned it was 45 at GameStop, I went down there a few days later, like sometime later.
Okay.
Got it because I get I'm also a member at GameStop, so they give you like a $5 coupon every month.
Right.
And then
so you use that so you could just pay for it for 40?
Yeah, and then I think I traded something in, but yeah, I got it for like $40.
Okay,
it's a pretty good price.
Yeah,
and it's just kind of been sitting on my shelf, because I'm not too. I told man, I haven't been too hit, man, on some of these games since Elden Ring ended. So I just haven't, because I wasn't really having too much fun with Horizon. Forbidden West, that was really, for me, in my opinion, a stinker. I don't like that game. So that's like a 7 for me. Like Horizon's like a 7 in my opinion.
It's still not a terrible score though.
It's not like a horrendous game. It's just it's not good enough. Yeah, it's just not good enough. And so I was really enjoying Red Dead. Red Dead is just incredible. But I was putting lots of hours into that.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Let me just take a break and I could talk about something new this week other than Red Dead over and over again. And so I put in Dying Light 2, and it's been fun. I mean, it's really funny, man, playing a game like Red Dead and then playing a game like Dying Light. Dying Light is just like the industry standard open world game. It's so crazy to me. There are certain things that the industry standard open world games just will not do. They will not make things 100% authentic. For instance, if you walk past a dude in the tavern, he'll say the same thing over to you over and over and over again. That breaks that immersion, those immersion breakers.
Yeah.
Hey man,
instead of coming up with a different line.
Yeah, instead of it being more authentic, Red Dead is super authentic, right? You'll never hear the same thing twice out of someone's mouth when you pass by them. You could follow them around all day and they'll be doing something unique and different, every single NPC. The industry standard, though, all open world games are like that, right? All the NPCs are just very generic like that. They say very generic things. They're doing very generic things, in all of them. Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, Dying Light, Just Cause. It doesn't matter. Whatever. These companies will never go that. They'll never go that far. They'll never take the time to do things that authentically. And it's just kind of funny to me. You know what I mean? It's just the run-of-the-mill standard open world. And that's why I appreciate things like Elden Ring. Every dialogue you get in Elden Ring is going to be unique and special. Just like Red Dead. Every piece of dialogue you hear is super unique and special. Nothing repeats. And so I just kind of laugh at that because I'm like, it's just this industry standard game.
It is a slight bit different, though, when you try to compare the characters that do talk in Elden Ring to a game like Red Dead Redemption. I feel like Red Dead Redemptions would be a little bit more intricate of a job well done. You know what I mean? Because Elden Ring is a big game, but the actual characters that talk are a smaller volume, you know, compared to all of the enemies and things like that that you see. You know, so when you're going to Red Dead, like all the roads and shit are populated, you know, and you get into a town. So if you come across different language from each person, you know what I mean, a new phrase or something like that from each person in that city, that's a little bit more of a like a wow, you know what I mean? Like, because it's like, okay, all these
Well,
little
I guess this
NPCs.
is what I mean. This is what I mean when I compare them. Like, for instance, I'll bring up that example you used when you played the game the second time around and you were running and you just heard someone talking
Yeah,
and it was like really unique and special dialogue. And like he's not repeating what he's saying. He's like saying something new. Hey, come on
yeah,
over. Just help me out, please.
every
And it feels
time, yeah,
authentic. It feels authentic.
right.
Right. And then you either go over there or you don't. If you come by that part again, he'll be gone. Like he'll
Hmm.
be in a whole new area or a whole new zone, or you'll never see him again.
Yeah, I
Like
think if you don't encounter him as the tree and break him out of his tree spell, you don't see him ever again.
I'm just talking about the notion of like breaking the industry standard kind of game playbook,
Hmm.
right? Like the industry standard playbook is to have an NPC stand in the same spot like the entire time, you know, doing the same, you know, 30
Just
second,
triggers when you come by.
yeah,
Yeah,
the 30-second reel or whatever. And then when you walk by, he says, hey, you want some work to do? And then like you just keep walking and you walk by him again and you'll run past him and he'll keep, hey, you can still hear him talking in your background. Yeah,
yeah,
some work to do. It's like, dude, it's just a stupid industry standard game. Like there's nothing, they didn't do anything special or different than what all the open world games do before it. And so that's, you know, disappointing, but it's still like the things that it's doing are still relatively fun though. Like once again, that's kind of like another industry standard thing.
yeah.
Like they don't give you these great immaculate games, but they give you a few things that are just a lot of fun to do. Like Far Cry's that way, Valhalla's that way, all the industry standard open world games are that way. So this is very like industry standard.
Hmm.
But once again, like it's fun, you know, to parkour around the city. I enjoy it. And it's addicting, man. Like getting those combat points, getting those parkour points
Hmm.
to get a new skill, going into a dark zone and trying to like hunt through it and get all your little upgrade tokens so you can upgrade
Yeah.
your stamina and health. Like that's just addicting and fun.
Hmm.
And you know, like it's super generic in a lot of ways. Just like any other open world, you find the freaking windmill, you climb to the top of it, you punch it, activate it, and you have a new zone. And it does
Yep.
the whole wrap around. It's just so industry standard. But
Yeah.
then it does a few of its things that like I really like. It straight up copies 100% Skyrim's and Fallout's lockpicking mechanic
Oh yeah.
where you move the top and then you move the bottom and you see click or whatever. Like it
Yeah.
does the exact. It's identical, 100%. It's a straight rip off, which is
Mm.
fine because like I'm familiar with it, so like I'm cool with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it has a stamina bar, like almost like it's trying to copy Dark Souls or something. You have a stamina bar, so
Oh
when you
well, you are
swing
doing
and
a lot of running and shit, right?
yeah, but I mean, a lot of games don't have something like that. You can just run indefinitely, like a lot of, or you can kind of just run indefinitely. The stamina bar is not like a given in a lot of
Yeah,
games.
I feel like Far Cry 6 is like that, where you can just run indefinitely.
Yeah, you can just run indefinitely in Far Cry 6. Yeah, or like if you're fighting someone, you don't have like a stamina bar going down. Like in
Right.
Dying Light, if I'm swinging my axe, my stamina bar is going down. So you kind of
Okay.
got to do the Dark Souls thing where like you swipe back away, let it recharge, swipe back away, let it recharge. You know,
Mm.
like they're trying to take a little bit of Dark Souls there from you
Yeah.
know inspiration, Dark Souls for inspiration. Like they're taking Dark Souls inspiration, they're taking like Far Cry inspiration, they're just taking like inspirations from everywhere that like they liked. And
Right.
then you have the parkour element, like their cool thing that they developed, like the
Right.
parkour thing.
Their
You
unique
know,
stamp in the world.
yeah, their unique stamp in the world. But it seems like a game that you'll get bored of after like 30, 40 hours because of the repetition notion of like the industry standard game, right? Where like
Yeah.
I've seen this, you know, rooftop and it's the same three thugs every single time, Right, like it's the same exact 3 thugs on every rooftop all over the whole city.
Same
Like
looking zombies.
the same looking zombies, right? Like you know those little they're like little things you can find in the world, like a little treasure chest. It has the
Yeah.
same 3 thugs guarding them. So it's
Oh,
like, and they're all saying the exact same dialogue. How do we
damn.
get into this thing? Can we crack it open? It's like, dude, you're saying the exact same words the dudes in the town next over said.
Yeah.
It's like it's so funny to me, dude. Like it's just like that standard thing. Like nighttime's pretty fine, right? Because you're kind of like it's a little scarier. The zombies can chase you around. You got like they start this new thing called a chase. That'd be
Okay.
like them borrowing something from like GTA, where you have like the your or Red Dead, you're wanted, right?
Your
A
5
wanted
stars is
situation
up.
occur, your 5-star stuff, yeah. And the chase
Yeah.
can go 1 to 4 stars, just almost identical. And
Yeah.
like the worse and worse it gets for you, it gets up and up and up. You got to run.
Yeah.
So like
Right.
they just kind of take a little inspiration from all sorts of places. But it's fun lighting zombies on fire. It's fun. For the most part, it's fun getting your skill points. I can just see myself getting bored. Not like Elden Ring where like I was never bored.
Yeah.
But I can see myself getting bored with this. And so, but for the time being, I'm enjoying myself. So
That's cool.
but it's your standard stuff, man.
Yeah. I feel you. So that was all you've been playing for the most
Yeah,
part?
man, that's all I've been playing, dude. What you been playing?
So I finally got to like really sink my teeth into Far Cry 6. And I've been enjoying it, you know. I did like the first little mission stuff, and made it so that I was able to do co-op. And then I had bought the game for my father-in-law, so I talked him into putting it in and playing it and stuff like that. And so he played a little bit by himself and he was enjoying it. So he joined my game because he was a little bit further than I was. And so we were just going, you can just go through the whole damn game co-op. I was like, damn, that's nice. You know what I mean? I was thinking like, I think maybe it was Far Cry 5 or something like that, but they had like started to introduce the co-op, but it was only for when you were attacking like a base or something like that of the enemies. Mm-hmm. I don't know. You would have to tell me unless you'd ever tried.
I never Far Cry 5, like I played the whole game solo. So like okay. I don't know. I never tried to do a multiplayer on it. Gotcha. I beat the whole entire game solo. So like I don't know. Yeah.
I think the way it went for Far Cry 5 was that you would go to a base or whatever, and then you could call for backup, and somebody would be able to join your game, and then they would control the helicopter. I think isn't there a guy
that was 4. It was Far Cry 4, I think.
Maybe that's 4 then.
I don't know. 4. Yeah, that was
Yeah, so they were able to control that helicopter and then just like, attack from above while you attacked from below. But I don't think they ever got a chance to like get down on the ground with you. But yeah, this one we were just literally running the whole game, doing all the missions and stuff like that with each other and going through it. So I was enjoying it. I was having fun. It's like you were saying, that run of the mill kind of like repetition for like a lot of the enemy camps. It's a lot of the same looking dudes just there. It's just a matter of how many are there, you know what I mean, and how many you got to kill. The missions and whatnot are the more unique part or whatnot, but a lot of those towers or things that you have to go to clear a zone and like unfog it, you know what I mean, so you can see a lot of things on the map. There was a lot of hunts for like treasure and things like that. Like they seem to always like every like 5 meters is like some type of a treasure chest that opens up and it could give you like a piece of gear or something else like that. I mean, you played Far Cry 6, right?
Yeah.
Did you beat it?
I did not beat it.
Okay.
But I put quite a bit into it. Quite a bit of hours into it. I think I'm like a rank 10. Like rank 9 or 10 or something like that.
Okay.
The rank thing you get as you level up or whatever. It's like a level up kind of thing.
I think I'm like 8 right now, but I haven't gone that far into the game because I've been like searching for all the little treasures and shit.
Okay, I think the highest you can get is like 10 though. I think 10 or 11 or something like that.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah. So did you get the like all of the amigos?
I got a alligator, the dog. I can't remember how many I got. I don't know if I don't know if I got them all. I'm not sure. I can't
Okay.
remember.
All right. So
You got
so,
a
so
cat or a bobcat or something.
oh, okay. So you got that black cat.
I think so, man. I can't recall. I think I got a cat.
All right. Okay. Because there's
I think there's
there's
more than one cat.
okay. Because there's like the first one that you get, which is the alligator. And then you can get like chorizo and then that
Yeah,
rooster and
I
stuff like
never got the rooster.
I haven't gotten the rooster either. I haven't even gotten chorizo. And all you have to do is pet chorizo. So I don't know why I haven't gotten them yet. I just been doing other shit than just petting these random animals. But I was looking down the list and it's kind of like a little too easy because you can literally just go down the list and find out what you want to get and how you can get it and then just locate how you get it. You know what I mean? So like
Uh-huh.
I was looking down the amigos list because this one guy that me and my father-in-law will game with, Sir Goodwood, shout out to you. He said he had played it and he was telling me, I was asking him about the amigos and what he used, and he said he didn't fuck with the crocodile. What's good, Arachnid?
I got Boom Boom, the boomer.
Boom boom. I don't even know about boom boom. but
He's a
but
dog. He's like a mutt.
oh, okay. So yeah, so he was telling me that he doesn't fuck with
Oh,
anything
that's
else.
cool.
No amigo.
K9000, a robo dog. Yeah, I definitely didn't get him.
Yeah, but he said he didn't fuck with any of the other amigos except for a dog. Yeah, and I was like, a dog? And he was like, yeah, you get another one. Because I thought he was talking about chorizo. And he was like, nah, you get another one. And you'll see why. If you get that dog, like, you just don't do anything else. So I
He
was
must.
like,
Maybe he's
okay.
talking about K9000, the robo dog.
I don't even know because I
I
didn't
got
see that
Boomer. There's
one on my list.
Boomer's a dog too.
Okay, are
Boomer's a
there like
dog.
a lot of them that like don't show up on your list until you like unlock some more of the game and then
I
it
think
starts to
so. I think so.
okay.
I did
Because
like some side mission. It wasn't even like on the list, and like it had to do with like a dog being smuggled or whatever. And like I just did it or something, and it ended up
yeah,
being a sidekick. It ended up being an amigo, and it was
okay.
boom, boom, boom. Yeah.
All right. So
I thought I might have used the Black Panther. I think because I wanted something that was stealthy, because I
yeah.
like to like sneak a lot
So
in
you
Far
did the
Cry.
triada thing then. The triada missions.
Dude,
Because
man, you're
that's the only
talking
way
like
you get that
7 months ago, man. I don't remember
black.
at all. 7,
So
8 months
like
ago, bro.
so like you go around the map. There's like a Oluwala cave or something like that you have to go into. And then there's a book that you have to read, and it tells you about 3 idols. And they want you to go and
Yeah,
grab these 3 idols and then come back.
that
And
does
so
sound familiar.
you go to these little parts of the map and you grab the idols. One of them's like a haunted mansion that you got to solve like a little puzzle. It's really not that hard to get that one. And then there's like 2 others that you just got to sneak into or whatever or walk into and get them, retrieve them. And then you go back, you bring the idols back, and then the back part of the wall of the cave breaks down, and you go back there, and then you can get the access to the panther or whatever. And then it's a battle. It's like a test to see if you're worthy. So you got to kill this thing before you can actually get him as your amigo. And he's like
No,
a
man, I didn't do that.
smoky. He's like a like pitch black. The only thing you can see really is his eyes and the shadow walking around of a panther. And he like disappears into the smoke. Like he hunts in the shadows, like literally. So like he will just come out and fuck shit up and then just like disappear again. And it's crazy because like as if you get enough kills with him that he gets himself, it gets to the point where
Mhm.
like if he's getting beat on, he just vaporizes and disappears to their eyesight and then runs off
Yeah,
and then
no,
heals
that
up
happened.
really quick and then goes back in there and attacks or whatever. So I just was like, I was looking and I was like, okay, he seemed like a badass fucking guy. So I'm gonna go ahead and go for him. So I went and did all those quests. What's cool is that you do them, and as you're doing them, you're also getting the Triada gear that goes along with all that shit. So you can put all this stuff on that makes you like hella quiet, gives you like extra loot when you go to scavenge some shit. And then at the very end, they give you like a Supremo pack that has like no special death effect. I still think the first one that you got is the best one. At least
the rockets out of your back. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, dude,
I agree, man. I just stuck with that.
Shit, man. You gotta just shoot them bitches down.
Yeah, I just stuck with that for a while. I also used the firecracker launcher.
I haven't got
that
yet. No,
it's like a 9-pack. You put like 9 firecrackers in it, and then like you can shoot one of them at a time, or you can shoot like all 9. And they're very bad accuracy. But that's basically what I was using as like my my RPG, right? So if every helicopter came along, I pull my little thing out and I just fire a freaking firecracker and knock them out. And if it's something bigger than that, I use like it's kind of like what your friend was saying. Like once you find like the 4 or 5 things you really like, you just don't fuck with nothing else. You stick with them and then the game. Like I had a freaking M14, like a semi-automatic, and all I did was I put a scope on it. And I put a silencer on it, and I just sniped the whole entire outpost. Like, and they don't hear nothing.
They don't hear shit.
Like, it's a whole like, dude. I'll tell you what.
As long as you're far enough away and you can shoot them like separate from each other, you can pick off each one of them like one by one. It's the only time you get a little trouble is if you pick them off and they're a little.
I picked the farthest scope that doesn't require like a sniper scope that's like got the sway on it. So like it's a scope but that doesn't have the sway. So like because that way you don't got to worry about the stupid sway. You just zoom in and like kill things.
I mean you can hold your breath, but I hear.
Yeah, I don't like to do that, man. Like I just want to like zoom in, you're dead, they're dead. And I was just like wrecking everyone with that stupid like M14. I like from when I like M14s in general, but it was just like a gray gun. It wasn't like a special gun.
Yeah.
But like every other gun that I found wasn't as good as that. Like I just wasn't as good as that combo. And then I had like I made sure I had like an M14, like not M14.
I have some that spit.
Yeah, a little submachine gun.
Just in case shit gets rough, you gotta be able to sit. Get yourself out of the crowd.
Yeah, just in case, you know. And so like you're set, man. You got your 4 or 5 weapons, and you just stick with that to all the way to the end of the game. You're just like invincible, right? So, dude, there's one thing that always annoyed me though in that game, and I think it's just like poor design or something. But I don't know. You get really used to like certain games, like Bethesda games, or like even Arcane Studio games, where like you can do whatever you want, and the game doesn't adjust to you. It just you can finish it however you want to finish it. And like there'd be like a mission, and I'm sneaking through, and I'm following the markers or whatever where I'm supposed to go, and then like I'm silencing, killing everybody silently, and then like, but it's like you're not supposed to be doing that. So like they just keep respawning, like it's an infinite respawn, and then it's like until like you trigger the thing. And then, like, all of a sudden, the alarm goes off. And then it's like, oh, so that's why it wouldn't let me. Because it really wanted me to, like, guns blaze and let the alarm go off before I was able to move on, like, to the next section of this quest line. Right? It's like the next thing wouldn't trigger until, like, I did it the way they wanted me to do it. And I was like, well, that sucks. Like, I did all this effort to try to be, as simplistic as I could about this. And they wouldn't let me finish the quest that way. I don't know, just a few times like that, it was really annoying, Yeah,
Arachnid, that is funny because I forgot what the fuck game that was. I think that was it was Sniper Elite 5. Like it didn't matter. Like if your shit had a silencer, that bitch still got heard. They heard them whistles from like it was a dumb concept. But yeah, you would think that would be the shit where it was like the pop, pop, like whispers. You know what I mean? When you're shooting shit and nobody would even know what's going on. But yeah, them bitches was getting alerted left and right. But Far Cry 6, you can pop a motherfucker 6 feet away and they don't even know.
Well, the only thing is, did you have a silencer on your Sniper Elite gun?
Yeah.
Or just the gun?
No. I had silencer on my Sniper Elite. We talking about like handgun shots was alerting people That shit is the quietest shit's supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Do you mean a
You
handgun
get
with the
that to go.
silencer?
Yeah, the handgun with the silencer. That's a pat pat. Like it's supposed to be quiet. It's the only gun that you just get a silencer on it automatically. So like it's
well,
supposed.
what's actually more honest to real life is you would probably hear it, but in the video games, if you have a silencer, it's supposed to be silent.
Yeah, it's legit.
It's not
silent. Yeah. I understand you gonna hear something, right? Like if I'm legit sitting next to you, and then I turn my head, and then somebody pows right by you, you're gonna hear that whisper and be like, "That's weird. What is that?" You know what I mean?
Well, in real life, there's no such thing as a real silencer. In real life, there's no such thing as a real silencer.
Yeah, it's just muffled as much as possible.
It's really just a muzzle flash stopper. You'll still hear the sound just as loud almost as a regular gun. So really, all real life silencers do is just basically silence the muzzle flash, but the sound is still just as loud usually. Like the movies where you hear the thum, 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 that's like fake. Like that doesn't exist in real life.
Just to let you know shit was popping off.
Yeah, like that doesn't exist at all. So
yeah, but yeah, man. So I was having fun, playing that game and whatnot, and then trying to go for that quest, to get those guys and stuff. So I mean, I haven't seen no RoboDog. Maybe the RoboDog would be cool enough to make me put the Panther away. But
K9000.
I feel like that fucking Panther is gonna do some shit, man. Because it's like Midnight Black. Like I feel like if I do missions at night, like when you're walking around with Guapo, and Guapo just roams into the areas that you're trying to like silently go into, they start seeing it and they're like, whoa, and they start moving around. That's
why I didn't like having him. I wanted a stealth pet. Yeah.
But I feel like with this guy, this bitch could be walking in the middle of the freaking area, and as long as it's like dark enough, like nobody's gonna notice him. So I want to see how that goes too. I'm gonna try to show him off to my father-in-law because he still got Guapo. So I'm like, yo, take this shit out.
If you try to do silent anything, then you got to do something other than Guapo, man.
Anything. I mean, Guapo is just ass, just all together. Like his self-revive take hella long, and his attacks don't even really be killing him all the way. Like you got to put a couple.
Well, he's better than Chorizo though.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't even know what Chorizo does, but it's a little cutie. You know what I mean? He's just there for.
He's like utility. Like he'll alert someone. So like if you're like sneaking, you can use him to like alert a guard.
So
like he's not combat oriented. Yeah, he's not in there.
So he don't shoot rockets and none of that shit from his little
he's not like
trolley.
He's like a utility tool. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He asked it. I wouldn't put him in my group to rock around with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was pretty much like all I really been playing. I did see some things that I wanted to check out that were coming to Game Pass and whatnot soon, but we can talk about that later. So that leads me to go into what topics we have for today, and it's literally the Xbox showcase. Hasn't been a whole bunch of news. I've seen Xbox themselves post that shit like 3 or 4 times. There was like the original one, and then they had like the extended edition, and then it's just like they just been constantly
the extended. It's its own thing though. It's its own thing.
Yeah. The extended was a little bit of extra stuff,
but it was its own thing. It was a whole new
each
thing.
one. Right. But it was each game. It was just a little bit more talking about each of the games or whatnot.
Yeah.
But after that, they've just continued to show it each time. It's like, oh, new video, but it's the same shit. You know what I mean? But yeah. So before we get into all of that, let's go ahead and get into the intro.
I love you, me.
All right, so like I said, the very first game that was shown or revealed during the Xbox Bethesda showcase was Redfall. And man, I was kind of I mean, we had seen some of that stuff before with Redfall, but it was kind of like, little cutscene, little regular stuff or whatnot. I feel like we got like a really solid look at this game this time, which is unfortunate that it's not coming out this year. But I mean, I was actually like kind of hyped for it. I was like, man, this looks good. Like, you know what I mean? Like some of the abilities and stuff like that. It looks like it would be fun to play. And hopefully it's not just like, you know, a Left 4 Dead. Hopefully it's a little bit more like story based or whatnot instead of just like surviving waves and shit. You know what I mean? But how do
Yeah,
you feel about
they
this?
said it is a story based game, and you could play it either solo or co op up to 4 players.
Right.
So I don't think it's Left 4 Dead.
Right.
Like I don't think you're just moving from zone to zone and you're finishing a map. Like I think it's a full on story.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, dude, it's funny because I watched a few commentators comment about this. One of them was Maddie Plays. He's like a big Xbox guy.
Yeah, I know, Maddie.
He's like, big on Xbox, right? He
Right.
was dogging this. Like he's like, this is like, lame to me. This is like one of the worst of the show. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, man, these people just, I guess, haven't played Arcane Studio games. Because when I see this just reminds me of Prey. This just reminds me of Deathloop.
Yeah.
And those games are freaking incredible.
Yeah,
And
man.
like maybe you can't get quite a feel for it by the trailer, but I have complete trust in Arcane, man. Like they make such super awesome games. Like Prey was so good, and Deathloop was so good. Like these
Deathloop
games,
was
like
dope.
there's nothing like I'm worried about. Like I don't even care really what they showed me here.
Yeah.
I was gonna be happy either way because I have so much faith in that studio that like just seeing this, in my opinion, just kind of confirmed. Like I was happy to see that it was just following the Arcane formula because I love Arcane games so much that this was just a confirmation for me that I know I'm gonna love this. Like the moment that she entered that church and it went to first person and you saw that shotgun, I was like, oh dude, that feels like Deathloop. Like you just kind of get giddy. Like if you really are a fan of Arcane, like you get really excited over that. And so for me, I liked it, dude. Like I had no complaints. Like I don't know how anyone who's played an Arcane game wouldn't see this and say that looks like Arcane Studio and would be excited just because of that.
Yeah, and I also like the fact that they said that I believe that they said that the the game was just gonna have like a lot of stuff going on with it, like having to do with all of these abilities and things like that, and like the way you could kind of like put them all together and stuff. Like it'll be interesting. I don't know what you would do though, like playing solo. You know what I mean? I don't know if like any of the other characters are in the game with you, and they're just like controlled by AI or what. But I feel like you damn near need like a full team to like properly play the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hope not. Like, I think they'll just decrease the enemy density. I think you just have fewer enemies to deal with.
Yeah,
and when you add players, it gets more dense, it gets more heavy. Like that's all I would think they would do. But like the thing is, like with Arcane games, like this right here, this little blue box here, like that was flashing. There's gonna be like, or this right here, this little map you're looking at. There's gonna be some dope gimmick. Like every Arcane studio has like some really cool gimmick to it, right? Like Deathloop had the time loop, Dishonored had like the stealth mechanic, Prey was like in space, like with psychic powers. So there's going to be like some really cool gimmick, and I feel like we don't necessarily quite know what it is yet. They were just kind of showing off the gameplay here, and like not really quite letting us know like exactly what you're doing. Kind of like you were saying, like, is this like a Left 4 Dead? Is this like a, full? I feel like it's going to be a full-on story. But like, are you investigating? Are you like collecting clues? Like, what's the gimmick? Like,
just
what are
trying
you
to survive?
Yeah, you're just trying to survive from zone to zone. Yeah, like, what is the gimmick that's going to be here? I'm really excited to learn. Like, what
you look like you're exterminators.
Well, you're definitely exterminating, but you were exterminating in Deathloop too. But like, I'm talking about like the gimmick, like what is like the whole point? What are you doing? Like that's what I'm excited to find out. Like Arcane always says some cool little thing you're doing. So
yeah, man. So I was definitely thrilled to like finally get to see the game actually. You know what I mean? Like cutscenes or like the little trailer stuff is cool and all, but to actually get to see some gameplay and just catch more of an eyeful of it is good. So I'm happy that they opened up with this. I mean, we knew that they had to give us some of this shit that they pushed back, right? Like he pushes stuff back, but you gotta have something, So it was cool to
Yeah, it's just kind of made me sad, like almost. I don't know if you want to kind of pause here for a minute, but I guess like before we move on, like what did you think just of the showcase in general? Like you watched the whole thing from start to finish, right?
Yeah, I did.
How'd you feel about what they did?
I actually thought that it was a good showcase. I thought that it was what was needed, right? They gave us literally kind of like one of those things that I've probably complained about like 1,000 times, They gave us a block of games that will be coming out within the near future. It's not like 2-3 years down the line. They said that these would all be coming out within a year. Now, granted, that means we still got to like, mid 2023, but at least it's a year. And then like, I think the shitload of all of them were coming immediately to Game Pass on day one. So it's like we're getting like the majority of these games, and a lot of these games were actually coming out within, the next month or two. So it's like, okay, they've been dead for the whole first half of the year, but at least they're trying to make up with it, towards the end. You know what I'm saying? So there's a couple that, definitely aren't Xbox Studios stuff, like Hollow Knight and things like that, right? They don't own Hollow Knight, right?
No, they don't own Hollow Knight. I don't believe
Right.
they don't.
So it was stuff like that, and High Life and things like that were coming to Game Pass and whatnot, So it was nice additions. But I thought it was a solid showcase. Like I'm glad that they didn't show me shit that is presumed to come out like 2025, or just showing me like too many videos without any gameplay. They tried to show like a lot more gameplay with some of this stuff. So how'd you feel about it?
I'm kind of two minds how I felt about it. So like if I'm just gonna like rate it as a showcase, then it's a good showcase. Like it was entertaining. I enjoyed a lot of the games that they showed. I was excited for them, but I thought there were some things that were a little bit like, in my opinion, I don't know, man, like unfair. Like how do you come in June and then say over the next year now? Like it's always like calendar year. Like that's a little unfair to me. It's like, oh, you're getting a 6-month buffer.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
What about the last 6 months where we got nothing from you? And then all of a sudden the next 6 months now when we were supposed to get Redfall and Starfall, we're not getting nothing from you then. You're like pushing it 6 more months out to make it seem like, oh, in 1 year. No, this is a year and a half, dude. Like stop trying to make it seem like, because we've had 6 months of nothing from you. Like I wasn't happy with that. Like you can't just make your year start whenever it's most convenient. You can say, oh, now the year. Oh, now the year starts. Now it starts. Now.
We was just practice shooting. The game start now though.
Yeah, exactly. Like that bothered me, dude. Like, and I everyone I hear like online was like defending them, like, oh, I'm so excited. Over the next year. It's like, wait a minute, we're in a year right now.
we almost done with this year. Yeah, you waiting a whole nother year for some of those bigger titles.
Exactly.
It just happens that they have other third parties that are making games that will actually drop this year. So they're filling that void because it's like, oh, day one on Game Pass. But actually, it's not a whole lot from Microsoft themselves that are dropping.
Yes, that's what bothered me. I think like it was a gimmick, like trick, and like a lot of the fans, in my opinion, like fell for it. In my opinion, because like, look at you, just like give them a pass because they make it sound like it's like, dude, it's always been that calendar year. It's always been it releases. Let's say in the past 2020 or 2022 or 2021 or 2023. It's never like calendar or month, day 400 of year. It's like, come on, dude, like you've messed up this year. And in my opinion, a lot of the games that I'm most excited for aren't coming out this year.
Yeah,
this year. Like, you can't just fake it out and say, oh, no, it is. In the next 1 month, it is this. No, that's not when the year starts. When did the year all of us start from June to June? No, the year is from January to December. What are you giving us this year? And, like, there isn't anything this year that I'm super excited about. And I thought they dropped the ball. Honestly, like, I was expecting something like, and we got Skull and Bones exclusive this November. You guys aren't getting Starfall, so we went and we cashed out. And we got you something, a AAA title we're replacing for you. Like, give us something to replace those games. They gave us nothing. They just said, whatever, we'll just pretend like it's a year window here, right? And then they'll forgive us. Oh, I'm not going to do that. And so, like, I was annoyed by that. But as far as, like, the showcase goes, like, absolutely, like, it was a well done showcase. They stuck to the games. They picked games that are cool. Like, you kind of enjoyed watching a lot of these game reveals. You know, like, absolutely. How could I not say I didn't enjoy watching this Redfall trailer? How can I say I didn't enjoy watching some of these trailers? How can I say that? The problem is there's still nothing. We're still waiting, in my opinion, a year till next year. We're still waiting till next year. It's always been that. I swear last year we said next year. Now we're saying it again, next year. You know, and, like, I feel like they didn't alleviate any of that mess up. When we last talked about when they first announced the Starfield delay and the Redfall delay, and we talked about how, like, I'm tired of being fooled by this company. Like, my guards are up, man. Like, I'm not trying to, you know, be fooled again. And
I hope
they
don't try to do mid-year announcements to tell us what's coming up in the next year.
Yeah, that's
bullshit, that would be a little wild. But I mean, I totally understand, and I agree with you in the sense that it sucks that, you know, we had to wait this long to get some stuff, and then they're still kind of like pushing, you know, a lot of the big stuff back. You know, it's like they're showcasing it, and it's going to be in a year, but we had to wait a whole year on top of what we were already supposed to be given to get to that.
It's like a gimmick. It's like a rhetorical gimmick.
Yeah. You know, so, like, and then it kind of sucks that they didn't. You know, it would have been interesting to see them acknowledge that they fucked up for this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would have been cool too.
Talk about how they're trying to, like, you know, maybe why they didn't release any fucking thing with as many studios as they bought. Or, you know, or something like that, you know, to just acknowledge that they've been kind of screwing the pooch, you know, so it's like, but I mean, you know, I did like the stuff that they were showing. So it's like, oh, you know, would I rather get it or never have it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I'm glad to see it.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with a game, Arachnid, taking more time. I have no problem with that. My problem is when you don't give a date. Like, that's my biggest problem, is like, you take 20 years. Like, I don't care how long Bethesda thinks they need. I'm not mad by the timeline. I'm mad when they push a date and they market it over and over and over again. They use that 11/11 marketing so much for Starfall, like making it seem very solidified, and then they push it. Like, that's a problem. Like, we all have deadlines. All of us have jobs, and we all have deadlines, and we're all expected to keep them. Like, that we don't have this expectation anymore in the gaming industry, like, bothers me immensely. Like, in my opinion, Starfall, when we get to it, it had frame rate issues for sure. Redfall didn't seem like it did. Like, I would feel like, can you at least get Redfall out? Like, can you get something out?
I think Redfall will be out before Starfield is.
I don't know, but they delayed it to 2023. They delayed both of them to next year. I'm wondering, like, would have been possible to get one of them out? You know, so and I have a bone to pick with Starfall as well when we get to it. That kind of talks in reference to this point you're making as well.
Okay, and so one of the next games that they showed was Hollow Knight Silksong, and you know, Hollow Knight was a really great game that we played like quite a few years ago or whatever. And so
here's a game that never gave us a date, and we've just been waiting. I'm fine with that. Take as long as you want. Like,
did they give us the date now? It just said this year, right?
I think it said next year. I believe it's next year.
Yeah.
But they still didn't give a date. They just gave a year. right? So it's kind of like, okay, like
I kind of rather nothing, until it's like for sure.
me too. I almost don't even want a year. I agree, dude.
Yeah.
Like
Because if it don't come out that
unless
year,
you know that year,
right?
and when I mean no, I mean these developers know when their game is done, right? Like
Or
if
when
your
it's
game
even
is like
close, we can
done,
talk about that.
then you could pick any date you want, and you'll make it, right?
Yeah.
So then you just pick a date that works best for sales or whatever, like whatever you feel you need to do to get the most sales. But don't give a date until you know like you're done.
Right. Yeah, man. So I mean, it just looks like more of some good stuff, some Hollow Knight, So I'm excited for it. And then the fact
Yeah,
that
it looks
it's
great.
day one
That's
on Game
awesome.
Pass is
That's
is
so
even
cool,
better.
dude.
I don't gotta
So
pay a damn
cool.
dime for it, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's such a good game, or a good
man.
game developer.
So this one right here, High on Life, this one, like I didn't know anything about this, and I wasn't expecting this, but when I saw it, I was like,
Stranger's Wrath.
This is weird. Yeah, it's definitely Stranger's
Dude,
Wrath.
that's what I thought when I watched it. Like, oh, dude, I gotta talk about this with Golly, dude. Like, this reminds me of Stranger's Wrath.
Yeah,
dude.
Oddworld Stranger's Wrath.
Oddworld Stranger's Wrath.
And it's quirky and stuff like that, and so I don't mind it. I'm actually kind of excited for this one because I think it'll probably be one of those, like, one that just came from left field and then just like surprises all of us, So I'm definitely looking forward to playing this, and I believe this one releases in October. They gave a month for it, so and I believe the way they were talking about it, it seemed as if it was just done. They're just formality.
I agree 100%, man. Like the quirkiness was like it like worked. Yeah, it was like the comments were so dope. Like, oh, don't worry, those are my offspring, but I can make more really quick. Like, it was really funny. Yeah, right? Like it wasn't like a cheesy like comment. Like it was like Stranger's Wrath, dude. Like it felt so similar, like high quality, like all the weapons are
especially because you use like bugs or whatever in Stranger's Wrath, so it was like living things that you were using, and so it's just kind of like the same way and stuff. So
and this does come out this year, so
right. Yeah, like I said, I believe it was October that it said it was. Well, let's see.
Yeah, this was a surprise. That was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about this, so I was like, "Oh wow, okay, that's what's up."
I think having played though Stranger's Wrath is what makes me more excited for it. I think had I not played Stranger's Wrath, I would have been like, it's a little strange. Maybe it's cool. Maybe it's not. Yeah. But now that I know like what how much fun Stranger's Wrath was, it's like, that's gonna be cool, man. I'm looking forward.
Stranger's Wrath was the best Oddworld game I've ever played. Like, there's nothing else that compares to Stranger's Wrath. I'm pissed that they haven't made a Stranger's Wrath 2, but they keep on investing in that other bullshit that they keep putting out there, man. I wish they would just stop with that shit. So these was like a bunch of Riot games, so like League of Legends, Runeterra, Teamfight, Valorant. These are games that have already been out, and I guess there's like more stuff, that's coming out for them, more extra characters and things like that. So that's cool.
Free-to-play games going on Game Pass. What do I care about that? They're already free to play. Like, every one of those games are free to play.
Yeah. Unless they're giving you like, unless they're giving you a character skins that would normally cost or something like that. You know what I mean? You're getting it for free. But that's cool for all the people who like to play those games. Another character to learn. Maybe learn it faster than everybody else to whip some ass. Good luck. And then they did a Plague's Tale Requiem, and I was like surprised, right? Plague's Tale, when I played it, I only played it because I got it for free from PS Plus. And I enjoyed the game. I thought that the game was actually fun, and I thought it was dope. And I'm like, damn, like how this slip past me, So I'm excited for this. And I believe this one's Game Pass also.
So day one Game Pass, yep.
Yeah, so I'm there, man. Like, I'm ready to continue the story, man, and see where it goes, see how they're going to do this, because it was all about the boy getting the powers and whatnot, and this girl surviving.
This one seemed more like combat focused too. Like when she like in the middle of this trailer, she says, "For this time, I'm taking it to him," or whatever. Like, she makes that transition, and she was like, like in the last one, you were doing just like a lot of running. Get out of here! They're chasing us. Get out of here! Like there wasn't any way to like really like turn the tables on the enemies.
Yeah, it was very limited for combat.
Yeah, very limited. This one is
they
like
made that on purpose.
She takes the fight to him, dude. Like, so I was excited to see that change of pace, man, because like that seems like this game would be a lot of fun if you could take the fight to these people, you know. And it's like she's older now, she's more confident. See, like she's gonna attack this guy here, you know, take this guy out. Like it's more more combat. She makes the switch. She's fighting. She's throwing. It's not like just running anymore. Like it's actually like taking the fight to him, and like so that's a perfect direction to go. A great reason to play again because you get like a whole new experience kind of now. Then, like,
this is a whole new game, you know. So it's not
but a lot of games though they have you do the same thing over again.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
Borderlands 2 is the same as Borderlands 1. You know, it's just doing it all over again. Like it's kind of cool to like get a new game that's kind of like, oh, now I'm gonna be playing it differently than I did before. Like that's exciting, you know?
Yeah, but it's nice that like a couple of these games, right? Like they showed us Redfall, and that's like way down the line, and then they show us this one, and there's no date on it. I'm hoping maybe it's this year. I don't know. But then they show us High on Life, and that one's this year. These Riot things, they're coming out this year, I believe. And then you got Plague's Tale Requiem.
Games are already out.
Yeah, and Plague's Tale Requiem, and that one's another one that's coming out this year. So, you know, it'll be nice, you know. And then they showed us Forza Motorsport. I believe we already knew that one was coming. It is what it is.
I'll tell you what, man. I was watching that, and the whole thing was about. It's like a tech demo. Like this is the most immersive, most incredible real life thing you've ever seen in your life. And I'm like, in my opinion, dude, Red Dead Redemption looks more real. Like I was looking at their shots, I was pausing it, and I was like, dude, Red Dead Redemption looks more authentically real than this. Like maybe not. The graphics may not be like in 4K sharp as this is, but like what they chose to do as far as like to make it look real and feel real. Red Dead nails it way better than, in my opinion, this Motorsport does. Like the growth patterns. Like if you look at the ground in Red Dead, like and you see the plants growing, like the growth patterns, and like it all looks so much more authentic. Like that looks like a real dirt path you're walking on in Red Dead.
Yeah.
Like it still feels like it's fake. It still feels fake. Like Red Dead feels way more authentic, you know. But anyways, so
for sure. I think Forza would probably be a little bit better if you had one of those like car rigs. You know what I mean? And you're like, you've got that look, and then you're actually feeling like the turns and stuff like that, you know? That what was it? That I forgot what it was, Stroke King or something like that. That demo that we had tried that one time.
Yeah.
But and then Flight Simulator. I was kind of like, why the fuck you showing this to me again? And then they're showing you the Halo craft, and it's like, ooh. You can fly the Halo ship in here, man. That shit's fucking that deserved the whole damn how many minutes? A whole 2 minutes. That deserved a 2-minute and 30-second spot and that shit. Overwatch 2. I thought that it's cool that they've got a second one coming out. I think this one's supposed to have more of like a campaign, right?
I think there is going to be a PvE portion to this game, than just combat, Right. And it's free to play, which is dope.
Right, because you had to buy the first one, right, for a while, and then it became free to play, right?
I think you might still have to buy it.
Okay, but so cheap. I mean,
you get it cheap,
right. So I mean, seeing that one, I was like, okay, if it's giving you some PvE type shit, I might look forward to playing that because I think that the abilities and and the way the characters handle and stuff like that was cool. It's just that I was never interested in really doing like battle royale shit or fighting to the death with a group of people, But I feel like that little kid is going to hold me back in the play game. Nah, that little kid Arachnid was like the shit. He was the one that controlled the rats, so he was the one that was able to do all that shit for you. I mean, you were able to. You were able to control the rats with the girl, but you had to throw shit like meat, fire, and different things like that using your slingshot. That little boy, he was just able to direct them shits to like whatever mass of people or whatever he wanted. So I enjoyed the sections where you had the boy because you were able to easily manipulate the rats. Oh yeah, you got to play it, man. If you if you get a chance, dude, I would definitely recommend playing A Plague's Tale, because I was pleasantly surprised when I played it. I'm like, oh, what's this game? You know what I mean? It's like some BS game or whatever. And I'm like, after I played, I'm like, shit, man, they gave this to us for free. Like, how the fuck did I miss this game? You know? But yeah, Aura. What'd you feel about Aura, bro?
I don't even remember. It was the one where you can like mix histories together, right? Like
Yeah,
you can mix histories together.
I could have sworn it was
Stupid.
Age of Empire. Every
Yeah.
time I look at that shit, I be thinking Age of Empire, and then they say Aura, and I'm like, oh fuck. I didn't even think it was a different game. It just looked like
they
Age
pushed
of
this one
Empire.
quite a bit. They even showed it in the extended. I don't know why they're pushing this game so much. Like,
Hey man,
I don't know
they
who's that
trying
supposed to
make
be
them
appealing
sell.
to, but like, not me.
Yeah, they trying to make them PC shits go or something. I don't know.
Yes, I don't know.
And then Elder Scrolls Online High Isle. I was like, okay, this is something that I would look forward to if there wasn't shit else to play. Like,
there's no Game Pass. Just so you know, it's not Game Pass.
This one's not Game Pass.
Mm-mm.
This is Bethesda though.
Mm-mm.
Damn, man, that's crazy. If it's not Game Pass, that's ass thing. Skip. Shit ain't worth it. Yeah, go ahead and spend your money on Elder Scrolls Online, man.
This one is Game Pass. The Pit.
Yeah, that just baffles me. I wouldn't understand why anything that fucking Bethesda ZeniMax touches should not be on Game Pass. That wouldn't make sense. Like, they should shoot themselves.
Yeah, it's weird.
in the
It's like
face.
you can play Elder Scrolls Online through Game Pass,
but
but
you can't
any of
play
the DLCs, you have to like buy the
DLCs.
DLC or something. It's stupid.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Moving on. Fallout 76, Pittsburgh, aka the Pit, is coming out, and that one should be fairly soon, I believe.
So that's kind of cool because this is a new storyline.
Yeah, a new
So,
storyline, a nice new location, also some PvP area going on over here too. So that adds another dynamic to the game. You know, I mean, you had like a little bit of PvP before, I'm assuming. But
lots
this
in
is
76.
yeah. So, but this is like more intense. So, you know, this is cool. If I don't have anything else to play, then I'll try to get back into Fallout 76 and, you know, and check this out, you know, but it's just got to hit me at a nice like drought. I think if this releases like within the next like 2-3 weeks, then it'll be a good time because the summer is like a good drought time to release stuff. And then Forza Horizon 5 gets a Hot Wheels DLC. Now, as much as I don't care about Forza, and I want to hear your opinion on this, these courses seemed kind of cool, honestly. Like, if I wanted BS and I could get straight on these courses, it would kind of be a little fun to just play around on these loop-de-loop racetracks and shit like that with these Hot Wheel looking cars. But it's not nothing that I'm just gonna like. I'm gonna play this on the cloud. I'm not gonna download the shit to play it.
So this is like the one thing my wife kind of recognized because I was watching this I was watching this during lunchtime. She was kind of playing with a little girl, but she would like glance over at what I was watching at times, and she was like, "Oh, is that Hot Wheels?" Like, she recognized it. And I was like, "Yeah, it is." She's like, "Oh, that looks kind of cool." And it's like, yeah, I mean, if you like racing, then this is super cool. I don't like, that's not enough depth for me. Just like a racing sim is not enough depth for me. Like, I'd rather play Mario Kart because I get to race and I get to get power-ups and shoot people.
Yeah.
Like, give me like Twisted Metal. Like, I prefer like a little more depth to my racing. Like, so just a pure racer is just like a non-starter for me. So like, this doesn't excite me at all. Even though it's on Game Pass, I can play the whole game if I wanted for free on Game Pass. I can play this whole DLC on Game Pass. I don't, it's just like all I'm doing is racing. Like, it's like, okay, that's just whatever. I'd rather play Dying Light 2, to be honest. So it's just like, as cool as a cool idea it is, it's a really cool idea. Get to play race your Hot Wheels. Like, that's fun.
It's but, like I was like, racing. Oh, why hasn't this been done before? Like, that seems like perfect. The racing game with Hot Wheels racetracks and shit. Apparently they did, and that's why they brought it back. But that just shows how like I don't play Forza. But this is like something cool. Like maybe if I'm looking for a couch co-op or something like that to do, that's just quick. That this would be one of those things, where I would try that out. So
yeah, absolutely.
yeah. And then this Arc 2 trailer.
There was nothing on this trailer, dude. Another dead
I was
trailer.
kind of like
He
I was
crushed the
kinda
guy,
like,
and that was like it. Watch,
Yeah.
it's
Bruh,
a minute long.
Arachnid,
It's
look
like,
at this
what
shit.
the heck, dude? Like, this is another dead. What? They still don't have any gameplay for us yet. Still,
That's what's mind blowing.
This was shown last year.
And then what I don't get is why the fuck do you have the character looking like Vin Diesel and he ain't do shit?
It is Vin Diesel.
Are you playing? I'm saying, like, are you playing as Vin Diesel in Arc 2, or are you still your own customized character? Because then that really doesn't fucking matter that Vin Diesel is in this game. Because unless this is like Turok or some shit, or what's the fucking
wait
the
a second,
one where he had
Arachnid, what are you talking about? What else do you do in Horizon than other than race?
for Forza Motorsport?
It's not a sim, but it's still all you do is race.
Yeah.
That's all you're doing is racing. So, I mean, I'm not sure what else you're doing in that game. You said it's a playground. Yeah, so you race in an open world. You're still racing, though. You're just driving a car, right? It's not like Grand Theft Auto where you can get out of the car and you can go shoot something or do a battle or go collect something. Like there's more depth to it than just driving a car. So.
Stunts. Yeah, I mean it's like the playground for it, but it's still like the same concept that all you're doing is just doing the races,
driving a car
like that.
Yeah, if they
gave you like, I don't even think Horizon has a storyline, right? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Arachnid, but like you're just driving
like
around,
a career mode or something like a career mode.
Things. I thought Motorsport was the one that had a career mode.
That might have a career mode too, but I think you have some kind of like career mode kind of thing with Horizon.
I don't know. I thought that they were like one and the same. Horizon has a storyline. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to have to look up that storyline. It's probably like 5 pages deep. It's real shallow. It's got to be shallow. It can't be nothing here too with that. Okay. All right. Motorsports has a sports-based career mode. So you're racing in the tracks to be a better race car driver.
Try to win each race. Yeah.
Yeah, and Horizon
kind of like
it's just like complete some shit. Because you still gotta race until you get out the car. You ain't doing shit but racing in this bitch.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like when you're glued to your seat and like you're like, I don't like games like that. Like The Crew is the same thing. Like The Crew was the Ubisoft's kind of like Horizon version.
I mean,
it's like if I'm stuck and glued into my seat and now my car is my only. I feel like I'm like that's all I can do is just bump things and run into things and like drive my car fast and like that's just like not enough for me, man. Like I'm just
I mean, Burnout was Burnout Paradise was literally just another racing sim, but it just allowed you to do stupid shit like crash your car and do flips to fuck your vehicle up and stuff like that, and it gave you points for driving off road and breaking things. I mean, I guess Horizon does that.
Like
I think
goal
you do get stuff up, but
yeah, Burnout Paradise was like that was the fun part was crashing.
Yeah. Literally taking cool other cars out while you drove was like the cool shit. And yeah, The Crew was rough, but I think The Crew was more rough because you had to pay for that shit. I think it wouldn't have been as rough if it was just free off top, but they made you pay for that day one.
Horizon for what it is the best in class for what it is. Like there's no other better
Forza in general.
Yeah, Forza in general.
Well, what about Gran Turismo though? I thought Gran Turismo was like the best.
Gran Turismo is in that class, but I think Forza is probably more loved.
I don't know. What do you think, Arachnid? You like Gran Turismo or Forza?
Like, I just think like you're not going to find a better like racing car game than like Forza. Probably like Motorsport or Horizon. But
The Crew is
it's just I don't like racing games. They're just not fun for me. I get bored super quick with them. Like it's just not enough just pressing the gas pedal and slightly moving my joystick around to like turn stuff. Like I need more depth than that, so they just don't work for me.
Anyways. Yeah, for sure. So I mean, I literally thought that the Arc 2 trailer was pointless, especially since they had already shown us an Arc 2 trailer like a while ago, and I feel like this was the same shit because they literally, I think they maybe gave you like Vin Diesel sitting on a throne or something like that, and this one they give you Vin Diesel sitting on a fucking T-Rex. That's it. You didn't give us nothing else, no actual like gameplay or nothing like that. Like
they think just showing Vin Diesel's face is enough to sell you a game, man.
Yeah, just because he looks like Vin Diesel is like it, dude. So I don't know.
Isn't that enough for you, man? Like that's all you should need. Like,
dude, I am so confused too, man. Because Arc 1, I tried playing that game and I was lost as fuck. Like, what do you do? It felt like how originally damn, I had that show on the tip of my No Man's Sky. When you originally started playing No Man's Sky, you got like one thing, and that was to like get to, I think it was like to get to the center of the galaxy or some shit like that. It was like to get to this nexus or point or something. But other than that, you didn't know what the fuck to do. It was just kind of like you just like tried and discovered. And this one Arc is just like, it's worse. Like you're literally dropped on an island or in a world, and it's just like, figure it out. You know what I mean? And you can get on servers with other people, but them fuckers ain't gonna help you out. They're just gonna try to come and attack you. Oh, you're over here? Like, what you got? Would you scrounge? Like it's just like, wow, you know?
No way.
Dude, I agree with you, Arachnid. 7 Days to Die is a better game than Arc. Even though it was the same fucking concept, but just with zombies. It was just a better game.
7 Days to Die, that was the one that you hammered.
That's that one that's fucking trash, yes. It's trash.
Yeah.
Like 7 Days to I didn't think 7 Days to Die was solid. In my opinion,
you weren't the only one. 7 Days to Die got like one of the worst ratings on Metacritic too. It's a trash game, I think.
Yeah, you don't know what to
but
do.
Wait a second. We have to also clarify, Arachnid. That's on the console. So maybe 7 Days to Die is like much better on PC. But on console, it's horrendous.
Yeah, I think that it belonged on PC, and it should have never got cross-platformed over to the console. Oh, he said, look at his Steam scores. Pull his Steam scores up real quick for 7 Days to Die. I just know that experiencing it on the console was not for me, and I feel like it was a shoddy build. Like
Steam
it just
score is very positive. So it's a much better score on Steam, yeah.
Oh,
that's not the highest score on Steam, but that's a good score for sure.
Yeah. What is it? What is it scored on Steam?
It's just very positive. So they have like overwhelmingly positive. They like that's kind of like how they
don't give you like numbers.
Yeah, they don't give you like a rating like out of 10 or nothing like that. It's just like
it's very PG, very politically correct or whatever. You know, all sides win, positive or not so positive. And then they showed this next trailer or whatever with Scorn. I could have sworn I saw this bitch like 3 years ago, like a preview of Scorn. Like, why the fuck isn't this? Like, this should have been out already. I mean, I guess I'm glad that it's got finally, like, it's coming out this year. But it's like, damn, dude, there should be a demo out right now. Like, it shouldn't be just, I see this. It should be like, oh, demo's out right now. Check it out.
I do not know, man. This is why I just don't have faith in Microsoft, dude. They're just such a mess over there. I don't know what they're doing. Like, I imagine, like, what's going on, like, behind the scenes, you know, like in the meetings, this stuff, like, like they're like panicking probably. This is broken. This isn't working. What's going on? Like, they cannot get a game to launch. Yeah, they can't get a game to launch, dude. Like, it's crazy. The Scoring game has been in development for so long. Like, what's going on, man?
Yeah, I mean, this is literally all the stuff that we already saw before. So they're showing it to us again. But it's like, okay, now we finally have a release date, presumably. You know what I mean? Who knows if they push it back? But, you know, at least we have a date now. But they showed this shit like, I feel like this was supposed to be like a day one game when Xbox was announcing all the shit that they were gonna have for the Series X and S. I feel like this was
Yes.
one of those games that they
I
said
think it was supposed to be
gonna
like a
come out.
launch title. Yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
supposed to be a launch
and
title
it
for
just did
Xbox Series X.
not make it whatsoever. And then it just disappeared. Like there was no signs of it anywhere. So when it came back, I was like, "Oh shit, this that scoring game?" Like I was like, "Oh fuck." I thought that bitch got canceled or something, the way it just disappeared on us like that. But yeah, hey, you know what I mean? I'm all up for like a gruesome shooter and whatnot. And the fact that it's day one on Game Pass is even better. You know what I mean? Because it might not get money from me. I don't know if I would purchase this if it wasn't for free. I would probably let it sit. But, you know, another freaking game in October. I don't know why motherfuckers want to crowd October up. Like, spread that shit out. Bring it up further, you know? But,
Yeah,
hey.
why not take that November date, man? It's open
November
now.
date or give it to us in August. You know
I
what I
keep
mean?
saying
Like,
they
why is
canceled
October
Starfield.
it? That's
Everyone
2
was
games in
hoping
October.
everyone was hoping for something on 11/11. Give them something, man. Put something
Yeah.
on that date and give us something on that date. I don't understand why they don't utilize that date now. They've
Yeah.
marketed it so heavily. Like
Right.
utilize it.
It would be
So
nice to
strange.
just slide something in. Hey, you remember 11/11?
Yeah,
Here's
that's what I'm
something that
saying.
will
I
come
don't
out
know.
that day.
Yeah,
You
they're
know?
not putting anything on that November date. It's nuts.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
So
thinking Sony's gonna do with God of War, though.
we
I'm
we
still thinking
hope.
that's gonna
We
happen.
can only
Yeah.
hope.
I'm still thinking that's
But
gonna happen.
okay, so I wanted to ask you about how you felt about this game, Flintlock. Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, I thought it was actually pretty cool looking. Thought the combat seemed pretty neat. Kind of a different, kind of like a change of pace, you know. Like I think she was like utilizing that little pet she had to like do some attacks, but the
Yeah.
combat seemed weighty. The combat seemed exciting. It kind of gave me a Dark Souls feel. Yeah, she was utilizing that pet for like some powers and stuff, which I thought was cool. The world seemed interesting. I was actually pretty much overall impressed with this game. So I liked it. What were your thoughts on it?
I actually felt it was lacking. I felt like this seems like a bit of a supernatural type of game or something like that, you know, with using some of those abilities. So, like, why does her gun and her axe look basic as fuck? Like, that just looks like a regular ass gun. It doesn't look like it's shooting any crazy special bullets. That axe ain't glowing. It doesn't look like it's doing any like crazy damage. It just looks like the only specialty there is that monster, which is kind of disappointing because you know you're constantly going to have those two weapons in your hand. And I don't even know if those things like improve or not. You know what I mean? If you're able to upgrade them or if you get new weapons or something like that. You might, because it looks like she was using some different stuff. But I don't know. I just felt like they could have done a little bit more, you know, to make it look spectacular.
What game looks better than
look.
that? Like what game do you think has better like looking combat than that? That looked
I'm not
pretty good.
I'm not taking anything from the combat. I'm just talking about like it looks like it needs better weapons. You know, it looks I don't know, maybe their main focus on it was for it to be the animal and whatnot. But I mean, it's like I don't know. I just feel like the weapons were lacking to me. That's what I felt like the most.
What do you mean by just the way it looks was lacking?
Yeah, they look bland. It looks like a regular ass axe that you could find in Skyrim or something like that. You know, it doesn't feel like something.
But it was cool in Skyrim.
Nah, it wasn't even cool in Skyrim. It was a regular fucking axe.
Like, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you want, man? Like, I'm just saying, like, what I appreciate about it.
I want like God of War axe.
That's what I want more than that is I want them to have a cool moveset with that weapon. So, like, yeah, a weapon could look cool. I agree. I want both though. But what I want more than that is I want a good, solid ability set, move set with that weapon, and that's what I think. Like this trailer showcased. Like she has a very robust, very a diverse combat move sets with the weapon.
It
that look really
didn't really
weighty and
look
cool.
like anything that was too diverse to me. It just looked like she swings her axe, and then to catch shit off guard, she pops it with her gun just to give a little back. But all it was like swinging, like regular shit. Like
Well, you have
it
to go
didn't
back to
seem
the
like there was
beginning of
anything.
this trailer. Like she's doing like some combo moves. Yeah, like looks cool. How is that not any cooler than like what you do in God of War? She's doing jump air attacks and slamming her axe down on people. Like that's pretty. Like that's this. Yeah, look at that. She takes the legs out from him with the axe. What games has complex movesets like that?
You like again, you keep focusing on the straightforward combat, right? Like you're looking at Batman and then compare Batman to Shadow of Mordor. Which combat did you like better? Did you like Batman's
They're
combat
almost
better or Shadow of
identical. They're
Mordor?
like super similar combat to me.
They're very similar, but there's certain things that are different.
That's not different enough. Like those are made by the same exact people. Like it's the same, almost the same thing.
I felt like they added a little bit more to the Shadow of Mordor combat than they did the Batman one, and that was just because the guy had different abilities and whatnot that you could use on these people. But that's just my opinion. I just felt like she should have looked like more like something. You know what I mean? She just looks like an average bitch got caught in some shit, and so she's fighting her way out of there or whatever. And that pet is like the
I
more
definitely
professional
thought that
one.
looked cool. Yeah, definitely. Anyways,
So yeah, this Minecraft Legends, is that like a MOBA thing or something? I don't know.
yeah, I wasn't 100% sure exactly what this is. Like, because it says it's a strategy game, like an RTS. I thought they said it was an RTS, real time strategy. So, but like when you watch this trailer, it doesn't look at all like an RTS. Like when you see the actual gameplay, it looks like Pikmin or something. I mean, I don't know. Like watch. Like we'll have to say. I mean, it looks pretty though. I like the color palette they used.
Yeah,
For this game was like really good choice. But
nice and
just
bright and
I'm not 100% sure exactly what you're doing in this game. Like with Minecraft Dungeons, was you knew what you were doing. Yeah, it was like a Diablo kind of game, but it was very
Mm-hmm.
very shallow. Very little gear to collect or pieces to collect. Simple combat, like one button press. But like this is like supposed to be different than that. I just don't exactly 100% know exactly like what the gameplay is. But I'm always unsure with Minecraft because I always feel like their target audience is always going to be little kids. So I feel
Yeah,
like no
but
matter what
a
they do,
lot
it's
of
going to be
adults
shallow.
play Minecraft, bro. It's fucking crazy how like there's a lot of like young adults that play the shit out of Minecraft, dude. Like hours and
Yeah, but
hours.
I'm saying like if you look at Minecraft Dungeons,
Uh-huh.
like that game isn't nearly as dope as Diablo, right? Like, but that's
No.
supposed to be their Diablo option. But as an adult, why would
Yeah.
I want to play that? If I was a kid, that's perfect. But
Okay,
that's
do you
not much
remember
depth for me as an adult.
do you
Adult
remember
gamer.
playing Trove?
So like, look at here's the gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
So like, this looks like an RTS. Okay, like you're building a base.
It doesn't
Like, look
look
at he has
like
like a whole bunch of
RTS.
people following him. Like the little guys back there. This felt
Mhm.
like Pikmin or something.
Yeah, like Pikmin or like a tower defense or something like that.
Action strategy
Action
game,
strategy.
whatever that means. I don't know what that even means. That's like a whole new term. Action strategy? I don't even know what that means, man.
It's new shit, man. They coming up with some new shit. Stuff you ain't never seen, world premiere type shit. But yeah, it's I do agree with you, Arachnid, that that axe just looks a little plain. I feel like if it just had like a little bit of a special glow or something like that. But I do agree with you guys. The combos and the way that they're allowing you to work with like the
Moveset.
gun as well as the axe. There is a game that it reminds me of. I can't think of the name of it
Bloodborne?
right now. Bloodborne was one of those. I think like Devil May Cry was like that also, where you were using the gun for range, but you were also able to do it close and stuff like that. And well, I gotta get some sponsors, Blue. But yeah, so there's different different games that are kind of like that, you know what I mean? And like when you look at Devil May Cry and stuff like that, you know, Devil May Cry had a lot of flair. I feel like it just leaves a little bit more flair. But it looks good, you know what I mean? It's something that I would definitely play, but I just feel like it's just missing a little bit of flair. Lightyear Frontier. I don't even remember what this is. Like the garden growing shit, right?
This was like you're like gardening,
Kind of like
and like you
survival
have
type shit.
like a mech thing too. So you're doing I think some combat.
Yeah.
This one I wasn't sure. I mean, I really liked Stardew Valley. That was cool, Farmer. Like maybe this could be fun like that. I liked I like the color palette. I like the graphical choice. Like it's in like a cool big open world. So there's maybe something here. I'm not 100% sold, but I mean there might be something here going on.
For
You
sure.
kind of like got like a tractor mech.
It kind of
like
reminds me of
tractor,
that one game, Astroneer or something like that. Or
yeah.
Kind of look like that. Yeah. But I mean, I like those survival and those scavenging games and stuff like that. It's, you know, it's fun to like kind of like wind down and play around with those, you know, if that's all you have to do is just sit there, you know, get a farm, grow shit, you know what I mean? Maybe a little bit of combat or something like that, but it's, you know, it's cool. So I think, is this Game Pass?
This one, yes, this is Game Pass. Yeah, Lightyear Frontier.
Okay.
This is Game Pass.
Yeah. So I mean, this is probably something that I might give a look see. I mean, if it's got dungeons, you know, like any type of a combat like that, you know what I mean? I'm down for that. That would be fun because that would kind of remind me of damn it, that merchant game. What was that one game called? The one with Moonlighter.
Oh,
Kind of remind me of Moonlighter, you know, where you had like a daytime job and then your nighttime job was to go into dungeons and find shit, you know. So if it's something kind of like that, you know, where you can, you know, do both things, you know, that'd be kind of cool. This Gunfire Reborn, I don't know if this one really interested me that much because
I can't even recall this one, dude. I can't recall this one. I mean, I got a pretty cool little.
This was asymmetric, wasn't it?
Isometric? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
if this is isometric or not. I can't even remember this.
4-player co-op. Oh no,
this is first person.
So it's battle royale type shit. No, it said co-op, so it's a mission or a main game. This is like Borderlands for kids.
It's like Borderlands with like some roguelite elements, I guess.
Yeah.
So you can like die and restart.
Oh, did it say it was rogue shit?
Yeah, it said roguelite.
Okay.
So it's probably like it's probably like Borderlands with roguelite elements.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I mean this might be something to fuck around with. You know,
this is also a Game Pass game.
Yeah.
So you gotta try it out on Game
options.
Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's options.
Seems like it got some decent action.
Yeah, and another fucking October game. Interesting. October is gonna be chock full of random shit in there.
Yeah, more October games. Why can't they come out in July or August, man? When it's summertime,
bro.
When those of us are off work. Come on, man. Come on.
Just do like freaking Grounded did, and just do it preview. You know,
I would like that too. I agree. Yeah.
Tell me you working on the game, but allow us to play what you got. You know, whether it's one.
Yeah, I don't know why Xbox doesn't have a program like that. Like early access kind of thing.
I'm just wondering why Obsidian was the only one that took advantage of something like that. Why nobody else does? And Obsidian's a AAA freaking, you know, business.
I was actually curious what you thought about this game, man. This felt like a mix between
like Limbo and shit.
Like this felt like a mix between Limbo and a Metroidvania game.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you can see that because
like almost
like high and low and unlocking.
Yeah,
shit.
Almost like it couldn't decide what it wanted to be. Did it want to just be just like an explorer, where you're just exploring an area like Limbo, but you're not really doing combat?
Yeah.
Or also include some combat. I mean, so I don't know how I feel about it because of that. I like games that pick a lane, man. Mm-hmm. I don't like games that try to like be two things at once. Like I like a game that like give me one or the other.
Unless it can do it well. If it can do it well, then
do one of them well. I feel like when you try to do more than one, like you're setting yourself up for disaster. You know, like trying to do more. Like stop trying to do more, man. Like just do something great. So I'm a little torn on how I feel about this game.
Yeah. I'm
But it's Game
definitely
Pass.
interested to possibly see some more, you know what I mean? But I think that it's like it's worth as much of a try as like Pedro was and things like that, you know, some of those other games that come
Yeah,
on
I'll give it a
and you
try.
just
Or
give them
like,
a whirl.
what was that one? Swappers. Remember that one, the spacesuit, and you would
Yeah,
like
yeah,
swap
yeah.
the
That one,
spacesuit.
yeah, right,
Yeah,
right.
like this is worth as much of a try as like that game is,
Yeah, for sure.
and you definitely can't complain with Game Pass.
Yeah, yeah, it's Game Pass. So you ain't if as
Yeah,
long as you got Game Pass, you're not spending nothing on it. So yeah, I'm
yeah,
all for it.
yeah.
This As Dusk Falls was definitely one that I didn't want to play.
I
It
know,
was
dude.
like
This didn't feel at all.
watching like playing a comic or
I
something like
couldn't.
that. This
Yeah,
was
I
like
couldn't.
Tales. This was like Telltale's games, but like on steroids because you don't get to do shit.
Yeah,
Like
but another thing
you
too is,
really
man,
don't.
like I don't like this choppy. Like, that would annoy me, dude. Trying to watch like an acted out scene and like it's frame chopped.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's like stop motion, but
Yeah, but like
you're
it's stop
skipping the
motion, but stop
bits.
motion they link it together so it smooths.
Right, right,
So
right.
it
Yeah,
looks
you
real.
get to
This is
see
like,
the mini steps as it's doing
yeah,
stuff, but this is
this
just
is
like, oh,
so
it's there.
weird, man. I don't know. I can feel like I feel like it would bother me. But
Yeah.
maybe you get used to it. Maybe as you played it, you would get like used to it, and like it wouldn't
Uh,
bother you as much. But like my
I
first thought was like, I don't know if I can deal with this, man. Like it's just a little bit too like strange art style. Like you said, a
yeah,
comic. Like it's almost like you're flipping a comic book page. Yeah, it's like every
yeah,
shot is still.
yeah. I played like only one Telltale game, and that was the Walking Dead one. And after that, like they all had kind of like the same concept, and it didn't really interest me. And that fact that it was just like a one button press, or you
That's
just
what
had a
this feels like
decision to
too.
make and
Not
watch
enough
it.
depth, man. Like it's like if
Yeah,
I
I
want to
don't.
watch a movie, I will.
Right, right, right. I don't really want to play a game that I just watch and then I press a button every now and again to like choose its path, you know? Seems like it would be a really simple game for somebody who's not really a gamer to play.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this belonged on
All
Netflix.
right, so this is the one you
More,
play with your wife, right? Yeah, this is a Netflix game. Yeah,
yeah,
this is the one you sit down and you kind of play together. Yeah, maybe there's a place for it there.
yeah. Yeah, I definitely feel like this is something you could have on like Apple TV where you play with the Apple remote and you just
Yeah,
like go
yeah,
like here.
yeah. You're right.
You just keep watching or something like that.
Yeah,
It's got a solo and a multiplayer experience. I don't know, but hey, it's Game Pass. So
yeah, yeah.
Arachnid, you let us know how it is, man.
Yeah, you take the time to play it through, man.
It's like a FMV game. What's FMV?
Wait, what?
Fucking movie video?
That's what the F stands for, huh?
Yeah, it's a fucking movie video game. Yeah, I'm really not sure about the fact that it's got multiplayer either. Like two motherfuckers bored sitting on the couch watching this shit doesn't sound fun to me. But hey, we get no clue. Yeah, I don't know what that means either. Yeah. But then they showed Naraka. And I was actually like, okay, this might be something cool to play with, you know.
Well, it's like at least it's a game that comes out in a week.
Yeah,
Like finally
yeah.
a game that's coming out soon.
Right.
Right.
You know, it's a battle royale, but looks like its majority is melee. It looks like there is some range stuff, like with some guys with bows and arrows and whatnot. But this kind of reminded me of like a little twist on them, like how I think that game Spellbound or whatever it was, and I kind of liked Spellbound because you could just use like magic powers and stuff. It wasn't guns, you know what I mean? So it was like different, you got to like do combos of shit and figure out different ways to get people. And I feel like that dude with the freaking the double katanas, the dual katanas, or like the claws might be wicked because I saw them using that grappling hook and he was coming in doing that flailing fucking Sekiro slice. It was like, dude, it looks like if you could grapple a person and come in hot, twirling your blades around, that you would dice them up pretty good. So it might actually be fun. And then the fact that it has a campaign mode, which is like entirely. They said it was completely different from the multiplayer battle royale.
I would definitely play the campaign mode on this for sure.
Yeah,
But I just don't want to get my butt kicked, you know? Like, I'm not trying to go into these
that's
games
like
and get my ass
next
handed to
week,
me.
right?
Yeah, it's next week.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I think I'll give it a whirl, you know, just to see how it is. But yeah, I definitely want to try play some co-op on that one in the campaign and whatnot, you know, and check it out. I definitely think that's where the fun will be. But you know, like I said, I did have fun with Spellbound. Like I was actually able to kill shit in Spellbound. So, you know, it was like beginner user friendly. You know what I mean? So maybe this one will be that, especially if you're able to do some like good little combats and the abilities are fun.
Yeah,
and powerful.
I guess, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was the one that we have totally different feelings about.
Well, for one, Obsidian, the same guys that made Grounded made this, and that made all those games we loved in the past.
Exactly.
Fallout New Vegas. Like this is like a really great game developer. So for one, I have some faith in them. That's part one. And part two, it does start slow. Like this seems slow. But it seems like it gets pretty crazy. Like the story seems like it gets pretty intriguing.
I mean, it's definitely a crazy ass artistic way to go.
It's really cool looking artistically.
This is different. You know what I mean? This is like some other shit.
But it's like we have a murder here, and you're like, oh, dude, what's going on? He's dead. You're like, I'm kind of curious what happened. You know, and like you're like doing some investigation, dramatic head wound, and you're just like going around, I think, like solving a mystery. And like this looks crazy, dancing around the fire pyre. A narrative
adventure.
I don't know. Yeah. This looked pretty cool to me, in my opinion. But I mean, would I buy it if it wasn't on Game Pass? Probably not. Probably not.
I don't know. It's weird because I'm like, this doesn't seem like something that would be coming from Obsidian. You know what I'm saying? Like this seems like something that would be like an indie type of a game.
Yeah. This is what I'm talking about though. Like this is what I wish more studios would do. You know, like to pump games out quicker. Like, because instead of waiting 5 years between each game from these studios, I like when they give like a portion of their team, like maybe someone who's proven themselves to be a great developer. Here, you know, take 4 members and like make a game. And like you got these little spinoffs on the side. I wish Rockstar would do that more. I wish a lot of these companies would do that more. And so I don't know. This is for me when I first saw this trailer. It started off like, nah, there's no way I'm going to play that. And I'm just saying, as I started watching the trailer more, I started to be more convinced as I watched it. It's not like I'm blown away by this or like I'm super excited for this. Like I'm not like that. I don't want to be misunderstood here. I'm just saying like it started off where I wasn't interested, and then they kind of started showing me the direction the game was going, and I started to be a little bit more open to the idea of like that actually might be interesting to try out, right? So that's kind of like how I feel about it. It didn't look like pure ass to me. Yeah, and I have faith in Obsidian. I have quite a bit of faith in them as well. So
I mean, I got faith in Obsidian, but that faith only carries them so far. I gotta see it because this might just be one of those things that like it's like a hate it or love it.
Maybe.
But this doesn't seem like it's anywhere in my ballpark range. But you know, maybe this is like a game that I can get the wife to do. Like if it's detective work and shit, and you got to deduce stuff, then you know maybe that'll be a game for her because she likes the Sherlock Holmes and stuff like that. But that didn't interest me at all. And when I saw all them different long-winded ass options and shit, unless it's getting voice acted, even if it's getting voice acted, I don't want to hear none of that shit. Like I don't want all of that. So
yeah, voice acting matters.
But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Now this one, Grounded. I mean, we were talking about this earlier, right? It's been in like preview or whatever for like the longest, and it was like the first game I've seen on the console that was just like in a game preview. Actually, the second. It seems like Xbox is more willing to do it than PlayStation is, because that one game that I was playing that was like I'm trying to remember what it was, but you were like on an island in a world and you just did like survival crafting and shit.
Yeah, you're talking about that game was whack. That game was whack. Come on, dude.
It was a cool idea, but you could tell it was very early stages type shit. Like they made a lot of stuff for you to create in it, and a bunch of random things for you to like do in it, and the fact that you got to like, just run around, attack things, find stuff, make stuff, you know what I mean? It could be time consuming if that's exactly what you want to do. But by all means, was it like a really good game? No, it wasn't. It was just a game that you could just like bullshit in for quite a while. It's like, oh, let's see what this does, make this or whatever. But Grounded was kind of it was literally like a playground. Like they made it like really like user friendly. They made it so that you could just literally enjoy the game without worrying about anything, without even scrounging for anything. If you just wanted to build, you could build. I don't know if it's still going to be like this, but I am happy to finally have a story. I've played this game several times and ended up coming back to it, and that's another Obsidian game that's coming live. But you're just playing in this background and you're surviving, and then you're building stuff, but it's also got a story, and so you're trying to make it to the end of that story, while surviving and stuff. So I've had a lot of fun with this game. So I'm happy that it's finally like finished and you get like the full story now, so you can understand like exactly what's going on and then what your end game, your end goal is.
Yeah, there's actual full storyline, which was really cool to learn. It's not just a survival game. Like there's a full-on storyline, getting back to like full growth. So I mean, like that's pretty cool. That makes it more exciting for someone like me, because I'm not the biggest fan of survival games, just because I don't really have
just straight survival with endless days.
Endless days. Like I'm just like, that's not where I'm at. But like with a storyline, I'm definitely more interested. Like,
and there's a lot of bosses and stuff. I mean, this seems like maybe at this point it'll give you direction as to like where to go specifically. I mean, it did give you some direction and stuff like that, but maybe like certain bosses or bosses you have to beat in order to keep progressing through the story. And so that'll be cool. But definitely something that I will probably get back into. It's like one of the other games that I've had downloaded on my console for a while, and I play it from time to time. So
Microsoft's got to appreciate Obsidian, man.
Yeah.
Say what you will, but they're working.
They're the only ones putting shit out.
They're putting games out for their console, man. Because
man,
that's 2 games in a row, that we're getting from them. Even if you don't like petting, they're giving you something. They're producing you a game, man. It's like, come on, what are these other studios doing?
You have actual product to show.
Year after year, man. It's the same deal with Microsoft. Year after year.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so I can't recall this game at all, dude.
Erebon Shadow Legacy.
That's a good or bad thing, but I cannot really recall this game at all.
Got a little like a cell shade anime type of vibe or something.
Yeah.
Going on.
Whoa, that's weird. It's like isometric or something. Huh.
But it looks like it's just a trailer. I don't think we're gonna actually.
Yeah, that might have been trailer.
Footage.
Yeah.
But some powers and stuff like
that. Maybe
that's
why. Maybe they didn't show any gameplay, so maybe that's why. Like I wasn't interested, or that's why it was forgettable.
It looks like she inhabited the robot or something like that.
Oh, she just possessed it or something, huh? Yeah.
Or no.
She was like smoke. Oh no, she's being hunted still.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she's like smoke or something. She's like your little panther friend. Oh, there's some gameplay here. So it's like a stealth game. Cool.
All right. Yeah, stealthy. Okay. So I guess
sweet. She's like following the shadows. That's pretty cool. Yeah, like staying in the shadows. That's pretty dope, actually. Like, so that's cool, actually.
Might not be too bad.
We'll see. We'll see about that.
Let me see. It's coming to Game Pass. I don't know when though. When does it say? No date.
I was trying to look too on my little list over here.
That's it. Oh, in 2023. So it's still got a while. You got about 6-7 months. 12
there it
years.
is. Yeah, Shadow Legacy. Yeah, it's 2023. Yeah.
All right, and then this one.
Oh yes,
Diablo 4.
Yes, dude. Diablo 4 looks so good, dude.
It did.
This
It looks
looks so good, bro. Right?
everything you see captured on Xbox Series X.
Yeah,
Not
and you know it's gonna be on Xbox Series S. Dude, just this graphics, man, like the feel of it was just beautiful.
yeah,
I was like just blown away, man. Like, goodness, I can't wait for this one.
yeah,
And the
man.
action looks so fun. I mean, this looks so cool. I hope they don't ruin it with any. Look at that. That little blood wave was so cool looking when I
Yeah,
saw
I thought
that.
those abilities were pretty dope.
Oh my gosh, this looks so good. This was the first time too I felt like just look at that, like the flow of the combat, like the graphics. Oh my goodness.
I
This was the
thought this
first
was
time.
sick that you get to actually customize
And you get
your
to
warrior.
customize your hero. That's brand new, dude, for
Yeah,
Diablo.
man.
You couldn't do this
You
before.
always, you just always had a set way the character looked. It was just that
Yeah.
person. But yeah, the fact
Dude,
that you get
like
to like
look at this though.
have a
Like,
unique
oh
one,
my
it's
goodness.
dope.
This is chill worthy. Like
I feel
I'm
like
just
I'm
saying,
definitely
like
going Necromancer in this, man.
you're going Necro in this one. I like choosing
Yeah.
Necro sometime. I'm not sure what I'm actually not sure which I'm going to choose yet. But no matter what, I know that every one of them are going to be freaking fun to play. Every character is going to be fun, dude. But like it's an open world. I was like, dude, that's sick. It's open world.
So you can go to any of those areas. It doesn't matter.
Seamless. It's just an open world.
any.
Yeah. So like you don't got to like click a zone or a button.
Yeah.
This was the first time. Like, look at that scene. Like, look at these graphics. Like, that's so sick. This is the first time I saw, this game in a light that wasn't just like a Diablo 3.5. Like, it was the first time I felt like, okay, this is real.
Look new and updated.
Yeah, this is like a new feel, a new look, a new kind of way of playing, a new graphic palette, new combat feel. Like, it just felt like, and I always kind of felt like Diablo 3 was like the pinnacle action RPG. Like, you can't really beat it. And this just upped it, man. And I'm like, man, dude, this is sick. So for me, like that snake back there, when he whipped it around, was just like, everything about this looks just great. And so for me, this is my most anticipated game, even more than like Starfield, more than, Hogwarts. Like, I think this is now currently like my most anticipated game I'm waiting to play is Diablo 4. And like, I think that's, saying a lot, but I think it deserves it. I think it looks so cool. And like this big open world fight where everyone's fighting that creature in the world. Like it's a shared world. So this is like an MMO kind of. So we just play in the same world, bro. Like that's so cool.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
It's so
good. It looks really good, So I'm excited to play it, man. I'm just kind of like where's it at already?
Yeah, that's my one fear, Arachnid, is like I just hope they don't ruin this game with some kind of like pay to win aspect, because then I'll be so disappointed because it looks so wonderful. This game just looks so wonderful, man. Like they needed something beautiful like this and some masterpiece like this. And like I just hope they don't ruin it with any microtransaction schemes. Yeah. Like I hope they don't. Because it looks so great.
Yeah, man. So definitely Diablo 4, looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing more. I hope that they start putting demos of shit more, you know what I mean? Because that would bring more hype.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and then
just a short early zone, right? Just to feel it a little bit.
Yeah. Just the opening, opening, zone, just to get that taste. And then this one, we could play a little bit of it and talk about it and whatnot. Sea of Thieves, man. I've said it plenty of times before that I thought that this was a shit game just for the simple pure fact that you cannot save like any of your gameplay. Like it didn't matter what you collected, what you gathered, your ship you had, like none of that stuff mattered. You lost it as soon as you stopped playing. I thought that was dumb. And the fact that you're able to like actually like have something of yours, like this is my ship. You know what I mean? I put all of this stuff. I stole these treasures. I put them on this shelf. That's mine. Like you could check this stuff out. Like I'm like, okay, this is something that I can actually play now. Like it's worthwhile playing. I felt like it missed that completely. And I mean, if they can add, I guess in the next season, if they can add experience and and abilities or something like that, then that would be dope. You know what I mean? Stuff that perks that you get. Or something, turn it into an actual full, something.
Yeah, how about they just, why don't they just cut to the chase and make it Black Flag already?
Yeah.
Like everything you named there is basically what Black Flag was and why it was so great, and why this one wasn't so great. But I was just laughing too when I saw this, bro. I was like, "Oh, only captains. Oh, we weren't captains before. Oh, so now because we're captains, we get to actually keep our ship. Okay, yeah, that's why. Oh, that's such a great excuse. They just claim it like, oh, you're a captain now, so now you get to. It's like, dude, man, you could have had that from the start. Give me a break.
Yeah, it should have been there from the start, so it's just ridiculous. But it's July 21st, so it's yeah, it's right around the corner. It's coming. Let me see how many more we
What
got.
was Ravenlock?
We getting close to that 7 o'clock time.
Yeah.
Ravenlock.
Oh, this one looks sick. This is one of the ones I was most excited about, actually.
Oh, it was kind of like pixelated.
Like Alice in Wonderland, kind of like Zelda, like action adventure game. Like this looked really cool, dude. Actually, this one looks solid.
Yeah, this one seems like it's got a lot there. It might be something fun to mess with and whatnot. You got a little melee with the swords and shit. I just wonder what it actually looks like. You know what I mean? This is kind of like cutscenes and stuff. But
I thought they didn't quite show enough of the combat, but they did show some. Like, see the firepower there, their fire abilities. Like, you have magic. Like, it looked pretty cool. Like, this one looks actually really sweet. Yeah. So I was actually pretty excited for that one. That's 2023 as well. Like almost everything that I was so excited about was like always next year. So it's like,
yeah, and then Cocoon. I'm trying to think. World Deeping.
I can't recall this. Oh, this is the one. This was interesting, dude. And this is the guy that made the same guy that made Inside and Limbo, which I'm a huge fan of. Inside. Inside, I think, is one of the greatest games made. I always wanted you to play that, but you never did. But like, it still shocks me to this day, that feeling of playing that game. So I have a lot of faith in this developer. But this one's a trip, dude. Like you go world inside world inside world, like it's like a puzzle. Like you keep jumping into like different worlds. Like check this out. Like he puts that on there, and then like he slips that on there, and then like he jumps into that world, and then he puts that bead there. It's like a trip.
Yeah, man. It's like a little puzzle game.
Yeah, and like every bead does something different.
Yeah. So this would be something like a good, good like 3-4 hours type of game.
Yeah, a game like this, I mean, that's the developer always makes games that are like shorter. But a game like this can't really overstay its welcome. Yeah, you got to make sure you get to the end with less than 10 hours. It's about a 5-hour game at most.
Right.
But that's going to be a winner. I already know it. Oh, here's your team, man. Team Ninja.
This one, this one was mine, man. I saw this and I was like, "Ooh, I'm stoked." You know what I mean? Because it's Team Ninja, and I fuck with Team Ninja.
Yeah, they're solid, man.
Yeah, so.
But I feel like we didn't quite get enough of what this game quite is.
Nah, we didn't.
Right? Like it was like, is this going to be, what's that game you love so much?
I was trying to think of it too, and I still can't remember it. But you're talking about the Dark Souls copy, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be like another rendition.
A third of those, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
like number 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
But it has some similarities to it, right? Like the demons and stuff, the Japanese demons.
Yeah,
but like
it's got yokai, but you're not a yokai. You're just fighting against it. So it's literally just a straight up campaign. And the other ones were like campaigns, but there were like mini missions that had like, a goal just to get to the end, and then there was story over the grand scheme of things. This one seems like it's just a straightforward story all the way through.
I'll welcome that.
Yeah, and then all the personas are coming to Game Pass, so that's cool. I love personas, so they're good.
I oftentimes call Persona 5 my favorite RPG ever made.
It's pretty awesome.
It's really, really great. But I've played it like multiple times, so it's like exciting for a lot of people who haven't played it. That's really cool, man, because it's never been on Xbox before. It's always been like PlayStation games.
Yeah, and I don't even know like Persona 3 Portable, was that for PSP or something like that, or?
I believe that was PSP. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
PSP. Yeah.
Or for mobile PSP. Or something.
Yeah, and then Golden was Vita.
Okay.
And then Persona 4 Golden was Vita, and then Royal was PS4.
Yeah, and then they just did a little talk about Hideo Kojima. And he's coming out. I believe he's coming out with a new game. And that's coming to Game Pass. I think is Death Stranded already on Game Pass or coming to Game Pass?
Death Stranding is a PlayStation exclusive.
Oh, okay. All right. It's not like
I
a
believe
time
it's
exclusive thing.
I don't think it is. So they're supposed to be making something exclusive. He's supposed to be making something exclusive for Xbox now. So
okay, yeah, I didn't see it. Ragnar said he's past Sea of Thieves. I don't know, man. This might revive Sea of Thieves, bro. It might bring some life back into Sea of Thieves, man. But then yeah, for the last one, they were showing Starfield. They finally gave us a lot more in detail with Starfield. So it was like about damn time, right?
yeah, it's finally revealed. And as I was watching it, it looked just like any Bethesda game, right? Like
in any Fallout game, yeah.
Yeah, like they updated their engine again, but it still literally kind of feels and looks the same as it always has, right? Like,
yeah, it looked like, okay, the faces are a little bit more realistic, but they still feel like the same thing. The characters still have that kind of like, it's like a white outline or something like that kind of like pulls them away from the background. But yeah,
I will say, like, the shooting felt a little bit more solid than past Fallout games. The shooting, like when he was shooting his machine gun or whatever, like it felt a little bit more solid than the other past Bethesda games. But there's some things in this trailer, man, that I definitely want to get your opinion on. For me, first and foremost, I guess I'll just give my impressions of it. I think it's too big, man. Like, I think this game is too big. Like, honestly, I don't think I want to jump from planet to planet, bro. Like, in Fallout or Skyrim, you're on the same world. You're on the same map, you know? Like, I don't know how I feel about, like, look at how glitchy it is. Like, it has frame rate issues for sure.
Yeah.
Like, this is why the game isn't done yet. Like, they haven't optimized it well enough yet. Like, clearly it hasn't been optimized well. But, like, this just seems, like, too big.
I mean, so this is like if Fallout and No Man's Sky had a baby, because of the sheer grand scheme of all these procedurally generated worlds. They like,
dude, I didn't like seeing this. This is like PTSD.
That was No Man's Sky.
I don't want to mine, dude, for materials, dude. I don't want to do that, bro. Like, I don't want that tedium. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's
like,
literally like they really loved No Man's Sky and thought, let's add some Bethesda flair to No Man's Sky.
I agree. They straight copied No Man's Sky. But I will say, like, this is a better No Man's Sky because the combat's way cool. And, like, the world looks way more interesting to explore. Like, this combat looks definitely modernized, updated from Fallout. So, like, it looks cool. Like, that double barrel shotgun was pretty dope. Yeah. Like, almost kind of had like a Mass Effect kind of feel to me. Some of the combat kind of felt a little bit Mass Effect-y. But I don't want to mine for materials, bro. Like, I have no desire to mine for materials. So I hope that's
maybe
not
you'll be able to do like, maybe it'll be like a main portion, but maybe they'll make it easy enough for you to automate it so that it just does it on its own. You know?
Yeah, I hope it's a small portion of the game. Yeah, like, or you don't need too much of it. Like, you need minimal amounts of it.
So or like it's a quick way to go ahead and, like, you know, do automation. You can just leave shit on planets and then collect, you know, passively. You know, that would be nice. But yeah, hopefully, you know, this stuff is gonna be like the bread and butter, right? The stories, the characters, and things like that you come across. So I definitely hope that the mining doesn't hold as much weight. It's just something you can do, just like how you can pick up all the trash and shit on any other Fallout. You know what I mean? Just something you can do. You don't need to do
that's true. I hope it's like that. I agree. I bet you, or even if they just made it like only exclusive to like settlement building. Right, like you're really only doing it to like build a settlement, but you don't need it to like make your gear or like make your loot. All that stuff is still just found in the world. Like it's just something you can choose to do. Yeah, or advance the story. You can just choose to do if you want. Because I don't want that to be integral. I don't want to resource mine. That is the most boring thing ever. And these games always make you do it for hours on end. So I just pray that that's not in this game. But another beef I have with it, man, is I just think it's too big, not just like in the sense of like the world, but there's 1,000 planets to visit. Dude, man, no wonder why this game is taking 1 trillion years. Do we need our games to be this big, bro? Like, cut 2 years off the development of this game and give us 100 planets. Like, why do you have to give us 1,000 planets? Like,
I don't even know if you need 100, bro. I think
I
6
agree.
would
Give us one solar system.
Right? Like as big as they're doing these planets, right? Like whole planets. I think like 6 of them, 6 whole planets would have been more than enough. With just like a whole bunch of shit on it. Like if I think about how long it takes me to get across a planet in No Man's Sky.
Yeah, you never will see it all.
I multiply that by like, hundreds of thousands. It doesn't entice me to want to do that often.
Oh,
you know what I mean? I would just want the story. So I would literally be fixated on only exploring and partially exploring the planets that the main story is involved in. Yeah. I would just be like, oh, well, I'm here, so I'll check out some things. You know what I mean? And then I'll go to the next quest and like, oh, I'll check out some things here. But like maybe that's like in-game shit. Where that's why you'd want to check out like all these other things. But yeah, dude, that just seems like that would be overwhelming. And
that's my biggest beef with it, man. I think about this game and I think about how many years it's been in development.
They're even giving you space combat just like No Man's Sky.
Yeah, and the space combat looks cool. And if we could play the sound, it has great sound design for the space. Like it sounds really cool. But I just think it's like too big, man.
Yeah,
I don't want to explore 1,000 planets, dude. Like, can you cut, like you said, down to just one solar system and give us this game 3 years ago?
Yeah. They'll give us eight galaxies with all kinds of shit inside of it too. Yeah, man. I feel like they're doing a lot, but I mean, hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not as vast as it looks. Hopefully a lot of that shit's just for show.
Dude, bro, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, whenever I played Fallout 3 or 4, the map was enough for me. Like, I don't need more than that. Like, what are we doing here? Like, look at this. Look at all these planets. It's like, dude, what are we doing here? So that's really how I feel about it. Like, I'm not going to, of course, as Arachnid's saying, I'm actually not going to give up on it because Bethesda's making it. And I'm going to play it. But I just think to myself, what are they asking of me? To never play another game the rest of my life and just this is it?
Maybe this is their live.
This is what we'll play to the day we die, man. Like, I mean, like,
what is their live updating game? So they just keep adding shit.
Goodness,
adding
man.
story or something to it. But
I just think like don't complain about not having enough time. The problem is you bit off more than you can chew, man. Like. That's another problem with these games. They take forever to make because they bite off more than they can chew. We don't need that many planets, dude. Like, it's serious.
Yeah, I think
this game done 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think Arachnid's right. They probably had a bunch of different traits. You know what I mean? And then they just left it in the scrambler to RNG it for the planets that pop up.
They're definitely doing procedural, I think. But I don't think it's going to be like different for you or me. So I'm not 100% sure how they did it. I think everyone's game is going to be the same. But maybe they just spit out a trait and just made that a planet and just stuck with it, and just made that in the game. But like, yeah, so because in No Man's Sky, like everyone can find different planets that are just
right.
They're generated like as you find them.
Layout for starters.
Yeah, it just spits out something every time you find a new planet. So I don't know if it's going to be like that, but it's just too big. It's too much. And also, do you know when you fly your spaceship, you actually don't in No Man's Sky? That was one of the dopest experiences I've ever had in a video game. Honestly,
when you took off the planet for the first time,
when you first left the planet into space, you kind of get like, whoa,
shit. And then you realize how fucking vast it is.
You realize how vast it is. You're like,
where do I begin?
You just feel
sucked because you had no like main goal. When it first started.
Yeah,
it was. What do I do? You know what I mean?
It was one of the dopest feelings in a video game, and you don't do that in this. It's a cutscene. When you want to fly into space, it just cuts you into space. It's like, oh, that's a bummer, man. Like, No Man's Sky does that better. At least they're doing that better. It felt more authentic. Like leaving the planet, escaping the atmosphere was like, what an experience that was.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that's it. That is the entirety of the Xbox showcase. And hey, I thought it was decent. You know what I mean? There's some things that I would have loved to have seen some more. Especially like that, like you mentioned, that Skull and Bones. But it is what it is. They got some time to show us some random shit. You know what I mean? This is kind of like that E3 time. So maybe it's like summer games for them too. Maybe they'll show us some extra stuff at random or whatnot. But yeah, man, we appreciate you guys. Look up the 10th Planet trailer from 1998. Okay, we'll check it. We'll check it out. Yeah, man. But
for sure.
but yeah, so thanks for rocking with us, Arachnid. Everybody else who dropped in and popped in. Anybody else who clicks on this video. If you haven't done yet, hit the like button, subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. It helps us out a lot, especially since we're scooching that freaking 300 mark, man. We're on the road to 1,000, but we gotta hit 300 first. So we just need you to sub for us. But yeah, until next week, we'll catch you guys later. Deuces.
Peace.
See ya.